Kia ora, g'day, hello, it's Lewis here again, and time for a much anticipated unboxing video. Today I am unboxing this locomotive, which like many of you, I have been waiting in anticipation for some time. It is the Queensland Rail 1620 class, and I've got the 12mm gauge or HO in 3.5 scale variant of it. It's produced by SDS Models. They're obviously made in China, in conjunction with these guys, CGL Models, who I got my two pre-orders from. I'll do an unpacking video, and I'm going to film running the locomotives in as well. I've actually bought two of these, and so yeah, very excited to have my hands on these. It's been a while since I pre-ordered it, but as they say, good things take time, and definitely like the old mainland cheese ads, and you know, good things come to those who wait and all that sort of stuff. So I'll take off the cellophane. The boxing is very nice. I'll take off the protective cover. Bin, and I'll wait for this to just gently work its way out. So we've got some of the informational bits and pieces here. Let's just have a quick gander at this. So yeah, Queensland Railway 1620 class diesel locomotive. This is the parts, exploded parts bits. Could be quite useful in future. I am intending to convert these to New Zealand DI class locomotives, of course, eventually, but just with everything else that I've got on at the moment, that's probably going to be some time away. Bit that I'm obviously most interested in for my own purposes, for 3'6" models, is how, of course, the bogies etc are put together, and the mechanism itself. Very nice mechanism, actually. I can tell you from testing that I've done so far. I will post a video of the locomotives being running, so you get an exploded parts diagram and a bit of information on the prototype itself, which is reasonably interesting. Obviously, Queensland Railways had a much larger fleet of this type of locomotive than New Zealand Railways did. Of course, the DI class, there were 5 of them, and it seems New Zealand Railways, I should say, decided that they weren't going to buy any more of these. But yeah, quite in-depth details. Basically, the way that this sort of arrangement works, from what I can tell, is SDS, they do a lot of the design work etc, provide that to the factory in China, and then they produce them. But CGL Models are the ones who've provided all the research and details etc about the locomotives in service. So yeah, very interesting. I've bought the DC variant because, like my other locomotives, I'm intending to put Wi-Fi control into them as opposed to traditional DCC, but we'll get to that eventually. Nice foam cover, and here it is. Well, almost. The one that I've got is a very basic original Queensland Rail livery, which is just the blue one, and then they went and put a QR logo, the one that we all know, later on the piece. Probably Queensland is watching this, can tell us exactly when that happened. Probably like New Zealand, as the need to advertise became greater and greater, we suddenly decided that actually people needed a symbol or logo to sympathise with to promote rail transport and using railways etc. So nice clamshell, and you get this nice sort of I don't know what it is, some sort of cellophane type wrap to protect the thing, obviously. But, we'll take that off there, and ta-da, there it is. very nicely detailed. You know, exceptionally well done. That paintwork is almost perfect. Well, it is perfect. I can't actually see anything wrong with it, so I say almost, but you know, it is perfect. A little, I'll show you the front there. Just look at that. Sadly, all details that we have to remove in order to make this look like a NZR DI, but just look how nice that is. You know, obviously they have these buffers in Queensland, which, you know, apparently makes the shunting a bit smoother, etc. Nice metal coupler on the front there, KD style, so that's compatible with what I'm using here, although that's not really a NZR, at least not in this era, coupler. Yeah, they do these horns on the roof in Queensland. Obviously our tunnels are way too small for that sort of thing, and they get smashed off, so we tend to hide ours in other places. These are, you know, air vents, which actually on the New Zealand version, the DIs you see are actually on the cab itself. The cab itself, as you notice, again, this is a loading gauge thing, but in New Zealand, because we have so many narrow tunnels, the cab on the DI is a lot more rounded, so it'll fit through our Victorian era tunnels. That writing on there, look at that. That's, can I get that to focus on there? Yeah, that's just really nice. And of course, as I mentioned, you know, they've got these sun visor things on the side windows as well, because, you know, sunnier in Queensland than it is here, let's be honest. But otherwise, I mean, when you look at the long hood and all the bits and pieces, it really is almost exactly the same as a DI. Obviously the headlights are different, but you know, we can fix that. And some of these, particularly at the front part here, the handrails and that sort of gate that they have to connect in between the two locomotives or carriages, as they were, is different. But other than that, I mean, like the side ladder is exactly the same as the DI. That cooling fan unit there is, I think, pretty much exactly the same as the DI from my recollections of seeing one in the flesh in Christchurch, I think with the diesel traction group there a few years ago. So yeah, it's pretty close. Just have to change the cab. I will look at the exploded diagram, but yeah, just the model is just really well done. And yeah, I'll show you in a minute how it runs, but it just runs like a dream. Bogies are pretty much exactly the same. I mean, look at the yeah, look at the detail under there, even with stuff that you wouldn't normally see. And yeah, a couple of pockets there that you can unscrew. The fuel tank area, I think, is actually an empty area that you could put a speaker into if you really wanted. They do come with a speaker fitted, even the DC versions like this one. So when you go and plug your decoder in, it does in fact have sound, so a speaker for sound. So yeah, very nice. Other than that, you know, it is just a tighter little unit, really. And I've got two of these. The anticipation is to do a stone train like we had in the mid to late 80s down the South Island with limestone. The DIs are also around in Hawke's Bay, and I think a couple in Wellington in the end as well before they were withdrawn and scrapped. I definitely remember seeing one when I was a kid in Wellington. They do kind of look like DIs, and obviously when they were painted in the fruit salad livery, they were, to the untrained eye as a younger kid, they were obviously, you know, a bit more difficult to tell apart. But you know, both the high long hood and short hood style design. So that is the SDS CGL 1620 class. Look at the handrail detail there, the little ladders. It is a very nice model, and now we're going to run it.